Jack, that's the fourth time you've checked your phone in 10 minutes.
I posted something yesterday. I'm just seeing if people responded.
What did you post?
Honestly, something personal about how I've been feeling lately. It felt brave when I posted it. Now it just feels exposed.
How many responses so far?
A few, not many. And I keep checking to see if there are more.
What would happen if nobody responded at all?
I think I'd feel like it didn't matter. Like I didn't matter.
Hello, everyone. I'm Grace. Welcome back to the Speak Bench, Episode 9. And today, the thing most of us do and few of us talk about, seeking approval, where it comes from, what it really costs, and how to stop needing it so desperately. In English. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack, and I am genuinely embarrassed about the phone thing, but also I think a lot of you do the same thing in different ways. So let's talk about it.
Why do we do it? Why do we need people to respond, to like things, to validate our choices? Because approval at a very deep level is a signal of safety. Humans evolved as social creatures. Being accepted by the group meant survival. Being rejected meant danger. So our brains learned approval equals safe, disapproval equals threat.
So checking for likes is my brain checking for safety?
Your brain checking, am I still accepted? Am I still part of the group? Am I okay? The problem is that social media has given us a completely unreliable measure for this. Likes are not love, comments are not connection, and silence doesn't mean rejection.
But it feels like rejection.
I know, because your brain can't tell the difference between a like on a post and genuine acceptance from someone you love. It processes both as approval and absence of either as potential threat.
So I'm using a 21st century tool to satisfy a prehistoric need?
And it doesn't work, because the need isn't for likes. The need is for belonging, and belonging comes from depth, not from numbers. In English, someone who constantly seeks approval and adjusts their behavior based on others' reactions is called a people pleaser. We talked about this briefly in episode 4, but today, let's go deeper.
I am a people pleaser. I've known it for a long time. I change what I say based on who I'm talking to. I avoid conflict. I apologize when things aren't my fault.
All classic people-pleasing behaviors, and in English, we have phrases for each one. Walking on eggshells, being extremely careful about what you say to avoid upsetting someone.
I walk on eggshells around certain people at work. I never say what I actually think.
Biting your tongue, holding back what you want to say, suppressing your true opinion.
I bite my tongue constantly to keep the peace, to not rock the boat.
Not rock the boat, to avoid causing trouble or disrupting the status quo. Not rocking the boat means staying quiet even when something needs to be said.
I don't rock the boat, ever, and I'm exhausted from all the not rocking.
That exhaustion is important information. People-pleasing is tiring because it requires constantly monitoring other people's reactions and adjusting yourself accordingly. You're not being you, you're being whoever seems safest in that moment. External validation. What exactly is that? Validation means confirmation that something is correct or acceptable. External validation is receiving that confirmation from outside yourself, from other people's approval, reactions, praise, or agreement. You feel good about yourself because someone else said you should.
And the problem?
The problem is that external validation is completely outside your control. It can disappear, it can be inconsistent, it can be wrong. If your self-worth depends on what others think, your self-worth is always at the mercy of someone else's mood.
Which is why I've been checking my phone every 5 minutes.
Yes, because your sense of whether that post was worth sharing, whether you were brave or foolish, is currently being decided by other people, not by you.
And that's terrifying because I have no control over it.
Self-worth is the alternative, the deep sense of your own value that doesn't depend on external confirmation. In English, we say you need to find it within yourself, or you need to be your own source of validation.
I need to be my own source of validation.
And that is one of the hardest things a human being can learn to do, because we were wired for the external version. Building the internal version takes deliberate practice.
Grace, you mentioned the inner critic in a previous episode. Can we talk about it more? Because I think mine is very loud.
The inner critic is the voice in your head that judges, doubts, and criticizes you. It's not your real voice. It's a collection of messages you absorbed from experiences and people over your lifetime. The inner critic says things like, "That was stupid. Who do you think you are? Nobody cares. You're not good enough."
Mine says all of those, especially, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? That one is particularly painful because it attacks your right to take up space, your right to have an opinion, to share something, to be seen.
And the only way to silence it is to get approval from outside, which temporarily quiets it until it starts again.
Exactly. Approval seeking often becomes a coping mechanism, a way to temporarily silence the inner critic, but it doesn't address the source. In English, we say you're putting a band-aid on a wound that needs something deeper, temporary relief, not real healing.
So, seeking approval treats the symptom, not the cause.
The cause is the belief that you need external confirmation of your worth, and that belief, that's the thing to work on. Jack, the post you put up yesterday, what did it say? It said, "I've been doing a lot of work on myself this year, learning to speak up, learning to be honest, and I'm proud of that, even if it's quiet progress that nobody sees." And then you posted it publicly for people to see.
Yes, I posted about my quiet progress that nobody sees for people to see, and then checked obsessively whether they saw it.
Yes, I'm the irony. I'm literally the irony. You're not the irony. You're the lesson. The post was true. The pride was real. And wanting to share it was human. The obsessive checking, that's where the seeking crept in.
The sharing was fine. The needing a response, that was the approval seeking.
In English, there's an important distinction between sharing and seeking. Sharing comes from abundance. I have something meaningful and I want to offer it. Seeking comes from lack. I need something from you to feel okay about what I shared.
I started with sharing and slipped into seeking.
And noticing the difference in the moment, that's the skill. That's what we're building. Disappointing people?
Grace, there's something I struggle with deeply. Disappointing people. Like the thought of someone being disappointed in me, it's genuinely one of the most uncomfortable feelings I have.
Honestly, me too. Most people pleasers feel this intensely because disappointing someone feels like losing their approval, and we've established what losing approval feels like to our brain.
Danger.
But the truth is, in English and in life, you cannot avoid disappointing people. If you live with integrity, with genuine values and honest opinions, you will inevitably disappoint someone, because not everyone will agree with who you are.
And the alternative is suppressing who you are to avoid disappointing them.
Which is a very high price. In English, we say you can't please everyone, and trying to please everyone pleases no one, including yourself. There's also a beautiful phrase, disappoint people kindly. You can be caring and clear at the same time.
I can say, I understand this isn't what you hoped for, and it's still my decision. Kindly, but clearly.
Kindly but clearly. That's the whole phrase. 3 steps to build self-approval.
Ready.
Go. Step 1. Notice the checking. Every time you reach for external validation, pause. Notice it. Name it. I'm looking for approval right now. Not to judge yourself, just to see it, because awareness is the first step to changing any pattern.
I notice I'm checking my phone for the 5th time. I'm looking for approval right now. Okay, what am I actually feeling underneath this?
Step 2. Be your own first responder. Before you share something, pause and check in with yourself first. Do I feel good about this? Does this reflect something true for me? Can I be comfortable with this even if nobody responds? If yes, share from that place. If the answer is no, wait until it is.
Be my own first responder.
First responder, in emergencies, the first responder arrives before anyone else and assesses the situation. In your emotional life, you can be the first one to respond to your own experience before you outsource it to other people.
Step 3. Practice self-approval daily. Pick one small thing you did today and genuinely approve of it. Not what others thought, what you think. I made a good decision there. I was honest when it was hard. I kept going when I wanted to stop. Build the muscle of noticing your own worth, independent of anyone else's feedback. That last one is hard for me. I find it much easier to notice what I did wrong than what I did right.
Most people do. The inner critic is much louder than the inner champion, so we have to deliberately amplify the other voice.
Inner champion.
The inner champion is the counter to the inner critic, the voice that says, "You did well, you're growing, you're enough." It exists in all of us, it's just quieter, and it needs practice to get louder.
Vocabulary practice. Key phrases from today.
Seek approval.
I've been seeking approval my whole life. It's exhausting, and it never fills the gap.
People pleaser.
I'm a people pleaser. I'm working on it, one honest conversation at a time.
Walking on eggshells.
I walk on eggshells around certain people, but I'm learning their comfort is not my responsibility.
External validation.
External validation is temporary. What I really need is to build it from within.
Disappoint people kindly.
I can disappoint people kindly. I understand this isn't what you hoped for, and it's still my choice.
Inner champion.
I'm building my inner champion, one small self-approval at a time.
One small self-approval at a time. That's your practice this week. Jack, that post from yesterday, now that we've had this conversation, how do you feel about it?
I feel okay about it, actually. The post was true. I was proud. I shared something real. And whether 5 people respond or 500, the thing I shared doesn't change. The truth of it doesn't change.
You just approved of it yourself.
I did, just now, without checking my phone. Pause. Really sinking in.
That's the whole lesson. When you can look at something you did and feel okay about it, regardless of the response, that's self-approval. That's the version that lasts.
Your challenge: tell us one thing you did recently without anyone's approval, something you chose for yourself. In English, we read every comment. You don't need our approval to write it, but we'll be here anyway.
I'm Grace, from the Speak Bench. Real conversations, real English, real you.
And I'm Jack, putting my phone down now. Genuinely this time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. You don't need anyone's permission to be who you are. You already have it.